Welcome to the 2025 parent presentation for Emmanuel Lutheran School and the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program, otherwise known as the WPCP. My name is Andy Thiesfelt. At Emmanuel Lutheran Ministries, I am one of the staff ministers. In addition to serving as the school choice administrator, I am the special needs scholarship program administrator. I do some teaching in the middle school, and I assist with some of the volunteer programs for Emmanuel Lutheran Church. In this presentation, I hope to answer these questions: to provide a bit of history on Emmanuel's participation in the WPCP, to let you know what grades the child you're applying for can be going into to be eligible to participate. I want to let you know about the income limits. What must your adjusted gross income be at or under in order to be income eligible? I'll let you know how to access the application, what documentation you'll need to complete it. And then if I don't answer all of your questions, please make note of that and reach out to me so that I can help you. Emmanuel began participating in the WPCP in the 2020-21 school year. So going back to 2019, we were learning about how to implement the program. Our leadership believed that since it was a program we were eligible for, and since we had the staff to run the program, that we should take advantage. They believed that it fit with our mission as a school to assist parents in educating their children. To the extent that we can eliminate some of the financial barriers to a Christian education at Emmanuel, and to do that through this program, we wanted to make that possible. Prior to us joining the program, many other schools had already done that, including these partner schools of ours. FVL stands for Fox Valley Lutheran. Fox Valley Lutheran High School participates in the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program. So if you apply for your child and they are accepted into the program, if they stay in the WPCP, they can remain income eligible to participate through 12th grade. Fox Valley Lutheran High School offers grades 9 through 12. So staying in the program, they could receive this tuition voucher through 12th grade at FVL or another participating high school. One advantage of working with these other schools, though, is that we were able to learn some of the best practices for implementation of the program at our school. When we first started in 2020-21, we had 42 kids participating. It grew to a high number of 74, and in the current year we have 68 participating students. So that's about 1/5 of our student body. Generally speaking, the students that participate remain private. Those that are in administration that have access to our student information system will know which students are participating in the program, but we make an effort to maintain the anonymity of participating students and families. In 2025-26, the upcoming school year, for which the application period is beginning tomorrow, February 3rd, these are the entry points at Emmanuel: 4K, kindergarten, and first grade. So if you have a child who in the current year is either here or here at Emmanuel or at another school in a 3-year-old program, if they're in a 4-year-old program, or if they're in kindergarten, then they could be eligible to apply for the program and receive the voucher here at Emmanuel next year. Other options include, in the current year, if your child is homeschooled, in school in another state, or in the public school, then these entry points are expanded from grades 4K through 8th grade. Emmanuel declares a certain number of seats available in each school year, and so the way we do that is to offer enough seats for all of our returning students, and then we have an opportunity one time after the close of the application period in late April, where we can increase the number of seats that we offer. So in the event that we have more initial applicants for a grade than seats available, our school board will review whether or not it's possible to offer additional seats in a given grade. If you're a first-time applicant to the WPCP, you'll need to register and set up an account under new users. I'll show you what that looks like. You'll receive a verification email, usually very quickly, usually like 5 minutes or less. They say on DPI's website it can take up to 24 hours, but I've not experienced that or heard of that happening. You don't have to be first in line to complete the application. They're not valued by the order in which they are received. You have until the end of the application period, which ends the third Thursday in April, April 17th. And along the way, you can start an application, you can exit and save your progress. If you're struggling to know how to do some aspect of it, there are resources offered by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. They have a slideshow of application print screens, which I'll preview for you later, and a host of other resources. Keep in mind the application window opens tomorrow, February 3rd. Here is what you'll see when you go there for the first time. So if I were to go there today and try to click on the gray button, it would not activate the application. It goes live at 8 a.m. on February 3rd. Whether or not you qualify is based on your income. So adjusted gross income is the number that they're interested in. Your adjusted gross income is typically less than your gross income. Things that could reduce your gross income include pre-tax contributions to something like a traditional IRA, like a 401k or an HSA. Then determine your family size. Family size includes all of the people that live in your household. It does not have to be the same as the family size you use on your tax document. If you need more information on that, please reach out to me. Once you've determined your family size, look at the income chart here to see if your adjusted gross income is at or beneath the income limit. If your family size is greater than 6, just add $11,836 to the particular column that matches your situation. If you have completed your 2024 income taxes prior to doing the school choice application, you can determine whether or not you're income eligible by looking at box 11 on the 1040 shown here. It may be a good idea prior to submitting your 2024 taxes or having your tax professional submit them to determine whether or not you will be income eligible. Waiting to submit your 2024 taxes could work to your advantage and allow you to use the prior year adjusted gross income, 2023, in order to be eligible. More on that later. As you complete the application, you'll need proof of income. That will be your 2024 IRS Form 1040. If you haven't completed that, the application does allow you to use your 2023 income, and whichever year you're using, it will be in reference to this same income table. So if you're using 2023 income, it does not revert to last year's income eligibility scale. Still the same scale, but the reason you might use your 2023 income is that both these things are true. You haven't filed 2024, and you would only be eligible if you used your 2023 income. Then, after completing it, you'll need to provide to Emmanuel proof of residency. Only Wisconsin residents are eligible to participate in the program. They are also interested in which school district you live. Each district has only a certain number of school choice vouchers available to it. It's based on a percentage of the full-time equivalents for the district. In our area, no district that I'm aware of has come close to reaching that limit to giving all of the available vouchers. So that's not something I would be concerned with, but just realize that that's why they ask for that information. Common documents that work as proof of residency are shown here: gas, water, sewer, electric bill, cable bill, landline phone. If you're using a cable bill, it should include more than just internet services. In other words, if I have Spectrum, but I only get internet from Spectrum, I would not be able to use that for proof of residency. And as I mentioned, if your 2024 adjusted gross income is over the limit, please check your 2023 income before filing. Not being sneaky in any way in doing that. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction knows that there will be people that file their taxes after they complete the choice application. These guidelines give you flexibility. They give you the ability to qualify based on either year. So as you complete the application, it'll be totally online. I'll show you a couple of ways to access it later on in the presentation. You'll need to know your adjusted gross income for either 2024 or 23, or both. You'll need to provide proof of residency, and these documents will either be provided, proof of residency will automatically be provided to Emmanuel, to someone here at the school. We can accept digital copies of those eligible documents or physical copies. If you bring them to Emmanuel and you need a copy made, we can take care of that for you. If I'm not in the office, any of our administrative staff up front can help you with that. They'll leave a copy of it in my mailbox. If you struggle to get through the application, just aren't sure of anything, remember these resources that are available to you. On our IMLUTH website, school website, under the Resources tab, the drop-down menu, there's a page for school choice information. It includes that income eligibility chart and a variety of other helpful things. On the DPI website, those same things are available, plus much more. And then ultimately, I want to make the process easy for you, so stop in and talk to me or send me an email with your questions. My office is in the back part of the ministry wing here at Emmanuel, so feel free to stop in and let me know what it is that you need to get through the application. The WPCP has been a great benefit for Emmanuel, and we hope to be able to participate for years to come. It began in 2013, 2014, and has experienced tremendous growth over time. In the current year, there are 344 schools and 21,638 students that participate in it. Some of the benefits are that each year that we've participated, the voucher amounts have increased. This has been helpful because the cost of education has increased during that time. So over a $2,000, about a $2,000 increase over a 4-year period in the voucher amount. An additional benefit, as we see it, is that since our member families receive a member rate for tuition, one that is less than the cost of education, they are receiving a subsidy from Emmanuel Lutheran Church to cover the cost of their child's education. However, if that family is receiving a voucher for their child, that voucher amount covers the cost of education. So instead of receiving that subsidy, those funds can be redirected to another area of the church's ministry. These children have been at Emmanuel for 2 or 3 years now, and the school has continued to grow in part because of our participation in the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program. We feel blessed that we can participate in it and hope that that can continue for years to come. If you have any questions about the information I've shared, please contact me. It's very important to me that you have those questions answered and you feel comfortable moving forward with the application process. If any of these print materials would be useful for you, help yourself to them, whether you stop in here or ask me to send them to you. One gives you a reminder of the range of dates within which you can apply for the program. Beginning February 3rd through the third Thursday in April, you can apply for the Wisconsin Parental Choice Program. Outside of those dates, you are no longer able to do that. And then any documentation that you provide must be received by me, by Emmanuel, within that same application period. You can see the QR code at the lower right for that, for your income eligibility chart. That's a helpful tool. Again, you'll see that on Emmanuel's website. If you're looking for that on the DPI website, it'll look a little bit different. They won't show the married family income column. Instead, there's a footnote that says that you just add, subtract $7,000 from the adjusted gross income in order to make the determination for a married family. Here's another piece of literature that I can make available to you. It's from an advocacy group called School Choice Wisconsin. This one too provides a link to the income limits for families. And then this one over here is real nice. It gives you a link to the online application. First, it'll take you to the School Choice Wisconsin website, and then again from there, there's a link to the DPI website for completing that application. Some of the other information on here has to do with other voucher programs that Wisconsin runs. The Milwaukee Parental Choice Program and the Racine Parental Choice Program are for residents of those communities. They're not ones that we offer. Emmanuel does participate in the Special Needs Scholarship Program. That one is based on a student's educational need. They would need to have an individualized education plan or a services plan in order to qualify for that. And so it's not income based like the WPCP is. This QR code will take you directly to the application for the WPCP. So try that out if you want. Let me preview some of the application print screens for you. Get back to the top here. If it's your first time applying for a student, you'll need to register. So click here. You'll provide an email address. You won't get spammed, so don't let that concern you. You can provide a commonly used email. And then you'll wait for that verification email and set up a password. If you are a returning user and you forgot your password, just put in your email address, click forgot your password, and then you'll get an email where you can reset things. It's pretty easy. Then once you log in, you'll select where it is that you live. You'll put your address in. Of these four options, it's going to be the third one. Choose the one that says students live in Wisconsin, but outside the city of Milwaukee and the Racine Unified School District. Put in city, state, zip, street address. Make sure that your street address is accurate. Now, any mistakes that you make in the application, you can go back anytime during the application period to correct those mistakes. And then you proceed all the way to the end again and submit the application again. I'll see that it's been updated in the portal where I can view all the submitted applications to our school. So I will know that you have made an update, and then I'll just complete the verification process once again with you. But don't be concerned about making a mistake in the application because, like I said, you can make those updates. In addition, there are lots of checkpoints during the application where it asks you if you're sure about all of this. So it's not something to be concerned about. When you select the school district, use this drop-down menu here. A lot of our participating students are in the Hortonville area school district, but we have students from a handful altogether. Places like Neenah, Shiocton, Appleton. Continuing then, you'll choose the schools to which you want to apply. You can choose and prioritize multiple schools. So say your Emmanuel is your first choice, but you want a second choice in the event your plans change. You can do that, and you can do that on a per child basis too. So maybe there's one of your children that you want to apply to 2 schools and another you only want to apply to Emmanuel. You're able to do that through the application process. The schools from which to choose are all listed here, and they're alphabetized. So select them. Once you've selected them all, click Yes, the list is complete. And then you'll begin entering the parent names. So if you and your child's other parent don't live at the same address, you don't have to include that other parent in the application. So think of the household in the application as you, your child's other parent, if you're living with them, the child for whom you're applying or the children for whom you're applying, and any other siblings. Those individuals would constitute the family size. But like I said, many applicants live in a situation where they're separated from their spouse or divorced, or they're a single parent. The application allows for all of those different situations. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. The student screens have you identify who's applying to the choice program. If you're a returning applicant, students that you applied for in past years will be included in there. It'll be a pretty easy process to reapply. You'll provide the required information for the students, first and last name, middle name, date of birth, and then the grade for the upcoming year. Rarely would the child be in foster or kinship care. Then you'll choose the schools that you want that child to apply to. You can see over here, maybe, it'd be tiny, that you are able to select an order of preference. You'll select the prior year attendance of your student, and so if you're a returning applicant, you'll select that private school in Wisconsin. You'll select Emmanuel. Once you've done that, as I mentioned, for returning students at Emmanuel, or say one that was not in educational programming like 3-year-olds preschool, the only entry points are 4K, kindergarten, and first grade. But applicants that are coming from homeschool or public school can apply in other years. Then you'll verify the student information. Make sure that you got in the application all the students for whom you are applying. You don't have to add the names of the children for whom you are not applying, your other children. And then the biggest part is the income verification screen. So you remember that table, you had to select a family size, so it'll ask you about that next. It says we need to collect some information about the members of your family and marriage status. Enrollment in the WPCP is based on income eligibility, and the level of income used in the determination is dependent upon the size of the family. Okay, so if you already put in 2 parent names, those will be pre-populated. If you already put in all of the children for whom you're applying for the program, that's good. And then other children, those for whom you're not applying, you would add now if you needed to. Otherwise, if all looks good here, we just move forward and say, yes, 3 is my family size, and then move forward. So once you've established family size, then you need to make a big decision about whether you're going to use what's called the DOR method or the DPI method. So Wisconsin will have on file, through its Department of Revenue, your most recent tax year information. Now they're referencing that adjusted gross income. So you want to use a year that will make you eligible, whether that's 2023 or 2024. Many families also use what's called the DPI method. That's where you provide physically a copy of your signed IRS Form 1040, pages 1 and 2. Either method is fine. One advantage of using the DOR method, where you don't provide that physical copy, and they instead just reference your most recent tax year data on file, is that you get a quicker answer. The application will tell you that you are income eligible really quickly. And so that might be what you want, to have that assurance right away. The majority of applicants are now using the DOR method, I would say. So let's say you proceed with that, moving forward with the DOR method. It'll ask you if your adjusted gross income for whichever parents you put on the application. And then assuming you're married, it'll say minus the $7,000 marriage benefit adjustment. So as I mentioned, the table, the income eligibility table, will look different on the DPI website, and so that's why they use the language that they do here. Let's say, I'm married. Let's say my income is $80,000. I subtract $7,000 from that. Well, then that's $73,000. So, I would take that value and compare it to the table based on my family size, but I would be then doing that in the single column. Hopefully that makes sense. It asks if you filed a joint tax return for current or prior year. Make sure that you understand what it is that you're going to have checked. And then in order that they can do the check, you have to put in your tax ID, which for most people is their social security number. It's a totally safe application process, so don't be concerned that providing the social security number presents any risk to you, at least not any more than anything else. And then it gives you the DOR records check. Now, in a rare situation, it will say DOR does not have records. And you would still have recourse at that point. You could switch to the DPI method if there were no records. You can also have the school run the DOR check later on if you want. That's not often something that applicants request. Usually the advantage of using the DOR method is getting that answer right away. But it's an option for you. So if DOR has records, the parent will be asked to select one of the following choices. You can run it right away, you can wait and have us run it, or you can switch to the DPI method. Most people are having it run right away. And you've probably already got an idea of whether you're going to be eligible. Okay, and then it'll make that eligibility determination right away. More with income verification. If you didn't use the DOR method, if you chose the DPI method, where you provide the physical copy, in that event, you're going to type your adjusted gross income into the application right here, and then proceed with the application. Sometimes there are alternative ways to provide proof of income. Maybe you need to use your 2024 income, but you haven't yet filed. These are ways that you can provide support for that. Those situations are much more rare. So if you have questions with that, please reach out to me. Some people don't have traditional income. They may be supported through Social Security, food stamps, housing assistance, things like that. But basically, if you don't have traditional income, they're going to want to know how it was you were able to survive. So some sort of information is going to be required. This screen would be not typically one that a family has to deal with. At the end, there's a review of all the information you've put in, the parent or guardian information, address, names, addresses, phone numbers, income. By now you've moved forward with DOR or DPI method, one of the two. The students for whom you're applying, all of their student information will be displayed for you to verify. The schools to which you're applying will be displayed so that you can verify that's the way you want it. And then you'll get a reminder of the documentation that you need to provide. So that has to be received by the school, by a manual, during the application period. So it'll be a good feeling to get done with the application, but don't delay too much in providing that necessary documentation. By checking here, you e-sign and then you submit. And then you get a confirmation, alert, and email about what needs to be done. So that's basically it for the application process. As I mentioned, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Just find the slide with my information one more time to close things out. But absolutely, rather than struggling with anything, feel free to contact me so that I can help you with the application along the way. Thanks for viewing.